All right, so anterior hip, we're going to be working around the top of our hip where the leg joins. We're looking at all the muscles and fascia in this area rather than one specific muscle. Important area, so we're going to go 90 seconds. Place the blade down, front of the hip on, and timer starts. So from here, just trying to accept the pressure of the blade. Move back and forward slightly, and I'm starting more towards my midline, so more in towards my groin. Just working back and forward. Not trying to go too fast. If you feel a real tender point, hold on that point. Ease back and forward on it. You can always flex your knee like this as well and lift the knee off the floor for a bit more pressure into that hip. And then start to work your way towards the outside. You're pivoting out towards the outside of the leg, but still up in that hip area. Back and forward there. If you want a bit more pressure again, you can grab here, back and forward. Find that tight area. Wherever's the most painful spot is where you need to be, really. So keep on going through there. Back to the inside. So that's a minute. Just going to go another 30 seconds. We get very tight through our hips when we're sat down, so it's important to spend a bit of time undoing that tightness. Find those tender spots. Another 10 seconds. Back and forward. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, so now we're going to work through the quad. So we're working down through the front, on the outside, and towards the inside of the quad. So we're rolling the whole thigh. So we're going to go for 90 seconds because it's a big area. So start in the middle of my quad and roll up towards my hip and then down towards my knee. So this is going to be quite a sensitive area, especially if you trained legs yesterday. So back and forward, working our way up and down the muscle, really trying to bring some circulation to the area, looking for those painful points. There's one there, right in the middle of the front of my quad. So from there I'm just going to flex and extend my knee, which gives me a pin and stretch style effect on the muscle. So again, back and forward in that area. I can work my way towards the outside of the quad as well. Again, back and forward, staying quite high. Now I can shift it a little bit lower towards my knee and work through that bottom section of the quad for the last 30 seconds. This is where you're going to feel it's a little bit more painful. So working through above the knee, make sure you pivot to the outside and the inside. Back and forward in that area. Whoa, yeah, there's the tight spots. Support yourself with your arms. 10 seconds to go, you'll be happy to know. Nearly there. 3, 2, 1, and rest. All right, so we're going half kneeling hip extension drill. So I'm focusing on flexing and extending this hip. Now I'm putting my knee on a towel for support because there's a hard floor. Foot flex, we're going to go 45 seconds. Here we go. So both hands on whatever you've got for support, and we're going to push our hips back and then open the hip up, and I'm lengthening this way, lifting my spine up and then back. Trying to keep my spine straight. Lift, feel the joint opening up here, squeeze your glutes a bit, and now fold back in. I don't want to round, I want to fold back into my hip. Sit back and away. And again, up and lift that hip open. Sitting back. Drive up and forward. Couple more. Sit back in. Drive up. Feel this joint open up. Back in. And lift. All right, so we're going to work through our adductors. So we're looking on the inside of our leg here. So working from our knee right the way up into our groin. Working through here. I like to try and use the center blades as I do this. So I'm going to lie it on the floor, laying it on this angle. I lay next to it, I bring my knee up and we go 90 seconds. So away we go. So working through sections, this is going to feel pretty tight. So I start down towards the knee first, rather than trying to roll the whole thing in one go. So you're going to get a little bit of your quad as well. The adductors are a real big muscle group, so we're looking at working our way right the way up. So I'll go to the middle of that section next, back and forward in through there. You can also move your leg forward and backwards like this, just to get a bit of a grip on the fascia, get some fascial shear. Really look at bringing some hydration to the area, back towards the knee again. Some movement back and forward there. And then we're going to work our way right the way up to the real painful stuff. Now gentlemen, be careful up here. This is a dangerous area. You only get this wrong once. So make sure we're targeting the muscles and nothing else. And again, you can move back and forward. Really look for those sore points. Get nice and deep. Can definitely feel that. 15 more seconds to go. Keep working through it, nearly there. Couple more of these. Back and forward. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, so we're going for an adductor and hip mobilization from a crawl position. So we're going to go 45 seconds. So hands down, leg out to the side, and we're going to start the timer now. And I'm keeping my back flat, shifting my hips back, and moving forward. Now my foot needs to kind of be in line with my knee, or slightly behind. And I'm making sure that I'm keeping my foot flat. I don't want it to be rolling onto its side. Sitting back into it. Don't go too far too soon. You're going to feel a big stretch through your adductors here the more you sit back. But we want to sit back without doing this. I don't want a rounded spine. Pull my chest forward. Keep my back nice and flat. Sit back into that hip and forward. Nearly there. 5 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, next target, glutes and kind of posterior hip stabilizers around this backside area. So place the blade down, going on a bit of an angle. We're going to go 60 seconds, place my butt on, cross my knee if you can, and away we go. So working back and forward, and I want to pivot across. If you really struggle with this position, you can put your leg out straight there and work back through it like this. But I like to get that knee, foot up on the knee. If you struggle to get this position, it's a sure sign we're doing the right thing. So working through it. Now, just looking for that painful point for me about there. Just holding on that spot and kind of oscillating in that area rather than trying to roll the whole area all in one go. We can go back towards our midline, back towards our kind of tailbone area. Work through there and then rock to the outside. We're going for 60 seconds. If you feel you need longer, you can always pause the video. So we're going to do 10 seconds more. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, 90-90 drill. We're going to do it for 90 seconds. So legs at 90 degrees, hand at your side pushing you across. Let's start the clock. All right, reaching forward, breathe out, don't collapse. Keep your spine long, pulling it forward. Hold and back up. And I'm bringing both hands round, pulling my chest round towards this wall. Big deep breath there, and then take this arm and just reach underneath. This arm doesn't need to collapse. Reach there, then elbow down, reach long over my head. And now let's bring our legs round. We're going to change to the other side. Reach. Again, long spine, don't round into it. To your side. Arm threads underneath. Elbow down, reach long overhead. Change to the other side. I'm going to go a bit quicker. reach. 1, 2, 3, 4, change sides again, reach long. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And if it feels like you need to do more, pause and do a couple more repetitions. All right, so we're going to go into this hip drill. So we're going to step this foot forward. I'm going to keep my knee on the floor. You can put a cushion underneath. We're going to go 45 seconds. We're just doing one side. Start the clock. Here we go. So I'm going to bring my elbow down towards the floor, and as I do, I'm pushing my knee out. Open my chest up, breathe in, and then reach. Really open that chest at the top. Reach down into it with your elbow. Open up. Back hip is nice and straight. Feeling a stretch at the front of your back thigh as well. And the inside of this left leg. 3, 2, 1, and down. All right, so we're going to go through some tilts now. So we're just kind of lengthening the spine, opening the hip, and working on the other side. So 45 seconds, here we go. On one side, I'm going to reach this away. It's just there for a bit of support. Reach this arm out to the side. Stand up nice and tall. Standing up from here. Back leg straight, reach into it, and up. I want to make sure my knee isn't collapsing in. Reach, think of your body and your back leg being on the same line. And reach. You don't need to have a towel on the floor like this, it's just because the floor is slippery. To give the anchor point some grip, hold, and up. And reach, use whatever you have, mop, broom, child, whatever you got.